Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this week's video, we're going to do one of my favorite pastimes, which is turning scrap wood laying around the shop into a project. I had a bunch of 12-inch short pieces cut off from various projects over the last couple of years, and I decided to go ahead and glue those up in alternating layers of various hardwoods. There's cherry, walnut, maple, some hickory in this block, and I'm just gluing up a big chunk of wood that turned out to be about 12 by 12 or 30 by 30 centimeters for those on the metric system. It originally was planned to be a three-sided bowl, and I'll put a link down in the description to a previous project that I did make into a three-sided bowl, but once I got this one on the lathe and turned, I decided just to turn it round into a regular shaped bowl because I really liked how the grain ended up turning out when the project started out being turned on its ends.
We're approaching 1,000 subscribers on our channel, and when that happens, I will be giving away to one lucky subscriber one of my handmade bowls. To be into that contest with a chance to win, you just need to be a subscriber to the channel, like one of the videos, and comment on a video as well. And every time you leave a comment, your chance of winning will increase. So, like I said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it actually really does our channel a favor, and it helps YouTube, the YouTube analytics, and they will actually recommend our videos to a wider audience. So please, if you can, also watch the entire video. That metric of how long someone watches the video is actually important, and YouTube will continue to rank our videos high, and our channel will grow. And share the content if you can. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the video, and I will occasionally chime in with some comments. But hope you enjoy the video and have a nice day. So at this point, I've got the bottom of the bowl, roughly turned to the shape I want and nice and smooth. And I've moved over to starting to hollow out the inside of the bowl. And this is challenging when you have a piece of wood like this mounted on its axes, because I've only got three corners there, three edges that are coming in contact with the cutting tool, and you start getting these big pieces chipping off depending on which way the grain is oriented on those 3 points. But you just got to kind of use a very sharp tool, take light cuts, and you will start to flatten those corners. And as the project spins, more wood will be coming in contact with the tool, and it becomes a little bit easier, a little bit smoother, and you'll start being able to be a little bit more aggressive with your tool. I've now moved back to the bottom outside of the bowl, and here I'll be shaping the tenon, which we'll eventually use to mount on my 4-jaw metal chuck. And then when that's all finished, I'll cut the remaining part of the bottom off. So I just have the tenon, mount the 4-jaw chuck, and flip the bowl back around and mount that on the lathe, so then I can start cleaning up the inside and hollowing the bowl further. As I mentioned earlier in the intro, this originally started out as a what's called a three-sided bowl. And you can kind of see there before it spun up to speed that there's three distinct points on the outside that would become the three sides. But at some point, I just really liked how the grain was presenting itself, with the pieces being glued in 90 degrees opposite of each other. So I just decided to just round the outside of the bowl farther down, and it just became a regular bowl. And I'm kind of glad that I made that design decision, because I think it really turned out well. Up to this point, I had done, I believe, about 100% of the turning with a half-inch bowl gouge, other than cutting the tendon, which I had used a carbide scraper. But I had worked pretty deep into the bowl, and it was posing a little bit of a challenge, because this bowl had edge grain, end grain, edge grain, end grain constantly, and I just felt that it was going to be a little bit easier. So I switched over to my bowl hollowing tool. It's a product by Lyle Jameson Woodturning. I don't have any affiliation with them, but I really bought and liked their product. And it's what's called a captured system, and you can do a little research on that online. And it's really kind of a safe way to do this. And I just ended up using the little scraper edge, and that was safely got me inside deep into the bowl without having to worry about not having any control of my cutting tool. All right, so we're getting near the finish here. So once I've gone through the process of buffing it out, with the last step being 2 coats of our carnauba wax buffed on, My last thing to do really is to remove the tenon on the bottom. So I'm just using what's called a jam chuck, and that's just a scrap piece of wood mounted on a faceplate, and then I'll flip over the bowl and remount it from the inside and apply maybe a light to a medium pressure to get that to wedge up against that jam chuck. And the key here is just to take light cuts, take your time. That bowl is not really being held on with a ton of pressure, so just take a nice sharp tool, slowly go at removing that tenon, and that's I found the easiest and best way to get a nice smooth finish on the bottom.